And we'll just voting on that. Okay, so calling the meeting to order at 7. I'm going to talk loud to make sure I can be heard for the recording.
Do you want me to switch with Rebecca? Let's do that. That way we're not.
Rely on that for our.
Get my water in a second.
So we'll call the meeting to order at 7:08. We will postpone voting on the adoption of the agenda and approval of the application minutes until we have one more member join us. And we have I stopped in the middle of the introduction, so I introduced you, but I failed to have us introduce ourselves. So, we can just quickly go around. Am I ready? You know me, I've been on the, I think I've been on the board only about a year.
You sure?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 years.
I don't know, it's not shorter. I don't know if that's good or bad. But I did, I worked at the library before that. And then my ex-husband was off the board before that, so I feel fairly familiar with the library.
We grabbed her as soon as we could.
So my name is Noah. I recently moved to Stephentown about a year ago, and I recently became a board member maybe 3-4 months ago.
I think longer than
Right? It feels like it.
Oh, I'm Scott White. I've been on the board for 3 years and it seems longer. And it seems shorter.
Scott's vice president.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
I'm general counsel for Department of Agriculture and Markets. Basically, we're in the legal shop for agents.
I'm Rebecca Corbett. I've been on the board 8 years now. And before that, I worked at the library for a bunch of years.
She's the reason I'm here.
And we moved to Stephentown in 2001.
Rebecca has been chairing our youth committee for many years. Very well. Okay. We'll just proceed with some of the things that are updates for now. So on our planning calendar, and there's printouts on the table for folks. So I just printed the last 2 pages. Actually, could someone pass one down to me? I didn't grab one. No, never mind, I did. I just got it wrong.
Sure.
No, I'm not sure.
Did you share all these on Google Docs?
Yes.
I'm not seeing it. Sure.
So this has been a busy, October was busy with the Halloween party that Kim will talk about, we're not going to talk about that, but a lot of work went into that. We have had the survey community discussion, closing out doing the work to close out the grant on that. And then November has been busy, including work on the annual appeal, finalizing the logo, which is part of being able to finish the annual appeal, starting on some website updates. There's been, and then planning for some of the holiday activities that are coming up. So a lot of activity going on. And I think, it's given me some thoughts about perhaps adjusting our calendar for anything that maybe doesn't have to be in November, December timeframe until a different timeframe. So it's not quite everything happening all at once. Upcoming still in November, just to keep in mind. So Noe can talk about this in more detail when we do the marketing update, but we made a few, the website updates were going to take a little bit longer than we needed for getting the annual appeal and the logo up. So we made a couple of updates on the current site. Noe, I'm working on the other one. So the date here of the website updates complete will be changing once we have a better idea of that. But the annual appeal is on schedule to drop tomorrow. We're going to have tying in the Giving Tuesday on online. We'll have that ready to go for the 30th. And then we're working on the budget. So we have been meeting about that and working through that process. And we'll continue to do that after tonight's discussion. Then there'll be an email for the annual appeal coming up in December. The bake sale, I guess we could talk about this now. So at our last meeting, we talked about doing the bake sale / virtual holiday market on the 11th, where we would do online ordering and then pick up on that day. And after the meeting and after some of the other work that was coming up, Kim and I talked, and I said, I don't think that we can pull this off. We don't have enough time to solicit the vendors and get everything that they send onto the website and promote it, and then manage the pickup process. And she agreed, which was good, because we know Kim takes on everything no. So I talked to Scott about it, and so we said we think we could handle just a bake sale because it's a lot easier with updating the website and trying to manage people's inventory and all that kind of stuff. So we reduced it down to a bake sale.
The cupcakes in the cupboard.
And we do need to talk about what we had said. Perhaps if we do something else where kids could drop off a letter to Santa, or there would be a Santa on the deck or something let the kids. So we can wrap up that discussion tonight. We have the potential of having some giveaways that we might be able to use. So we need to finalize those plans tonight. And then also coming up in December is our budget, finalizing our budget during our next meeting. And we have to submit our survey grant report by the end of the month. Sarah's already written that. I'm just behind on getting her feedback and finalizing the press release that we have to do related to that. Oh, and I forgot to mention what the other next thing coming up, which is we are participating in the holiday tree lighting parade on the 27th. So Rebecca, me, Vicki, and Elaine have been meeting to plan that out. And Kim has helped with the plans for what we're going to do. So we're going to walk. We decided to not tackle the thought of how to have a trailer float and pickup trucks and everything else. And we're going to push library carts that are going to be lighted with our sign. So we have a banner coming with the new logo. We'll have like prop books wrapped up or presents that look like, festive on the carts. And then Robin's having technical difficulties. She can't stream. We're allowed to park the carts sort of at the Veterans Park at the end for when they do the tree lighting and the caroling, and we'll be able to hand out some. We originally thought just books, but we're going to do some activity books and a reindeer craft kind of thing. That way, kind of hit the right ages. So we've been scrambling to get that underway. But the parade, I think now up to 27 entries. So there's been a good bit of interest, and so hopefully it'll be a fun time. So that's the other thing that we've been working on this month. Let me just reply to Robin briefly, sorry. Okay, so
That's something on that screen. I don't know.
her internet won't stay connected.
Oh, just a saying that it's being recorded.
Oh.
I wonder if she's still having those. Did everybody have those problems with Consolidated after that's the, like, yeah, mine, a day or two with problems, usually now,
Yeah.
because you were really having it longer.
Yeah. No, but mine cleared out like a couple of days ago.
My parents' phone went out.
Yeah, I heard that the phones were out too. Yeah. That was crazy storm though. It was- Shook the house. Okay, so we're probably not gonna have Robin joining us. Is that- With a sign, no less.
With a sign?
You thought I was done with sign. I must be returning it to you. I was like coming in with it. Quite a nice though. Hi Ed, how are you?
So that was the guy I was working down on.
Scott is also our maple syrup supplier. So he makes maple syrup and he donates it to all of our bake sales and things like that. It's very good syrup, but so we're often returning our bottles. We just were talking about the planning calendar. So we have a couple people who aren't showing up tonight, and we've got a couple people who are sick. Robin's having technical difficulties, and Melanie's joining us now. So we now have our full crew. Hey, Melanie. All right. So, Ed, you know Diana Melanie, Diana Clark, Diana Clark is Melanie, she's our treasurer. So we got started just talking about the planning calendar, nothing important yet. Well, now that we've got enough people, we'll just do our official business. So can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Scott makes a motion to adopt the agenda.
Now I'll make the motion. I move to adopt the agenda.
Can I have a second? Rebecca seconds, thank you, and all in favor? Okay, motion carries. How about approval of the October meeting minutes? Motion to approve.
I will move to approve the meeting minutes for the October 21st meeting of the trustees.
Thank you, very official stuff. And second,
I would like to make an amendment to that.
Okay.
We don't have to go to Google Docs to get them.
I
'Cause I
got,
don't have any of them.
so I've got all the printouts for you here.
Okay.
If you brought your computer, I told you I would look at it tonight, but we can talk about what we do. moving forward.
Is it a browser issue?
Pardon?
Is it a browser issue?
I don't know what it is. All I know is I can never get anything from Google.
What's the browser?
None. Popped up on the screen, can't see anything.
I'll second.
Browser, but I don't have it.
Okay, so Scott moved to approve the minutes, no way seconded, all in favor? Okay, all
Is that with my amendment?
Huh?
Is that with my amendment?
Well, that's not to the actual minutes of the meeting. The minutes themselves are approving. Your technology issues will be addressed later.
Are none of our concern.
Okay, so moving on, let's go ahead with the director's report and then we'll circle back on those, a couple of events things we can talk about as we get to the appropriate committee.
Okay, so things have been pretty steady, I would say, in terms of our circulation and the amount of people coming in. It has been quieter, I think, than normal, but it's still like for October, we had 367 visits versus 411 in September. But that kind of happens this time of year with people getting back into school and things like that. So upcoming programs, Dungeons and Dragons is still happening. The kids, we are now doing it from 5 to 7 because my son is no longer able to do it earlier. So I'll be here at 7 o'clock until 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. Mahjong is still happening, and we're doing a new Mahjong group on Saturdays at 11 o'clock because the ladies, there's some people who wanted to try it. Okay, give it a try. On December 2nd, we're doing a Medicare information session. It's going to be at the town hall with the seniors. A company contacted me and said, can we do this? I said, that sounds fantastic. I contacted Judy Hunt. She said, that sounds fantastic. So, but everyone's invited to go to it. You don't have to be a senior in order to do it. But I know that the enrollment period is ending on the 7th. So trying to get this, they'll answer any questions you have. They'll let you know all the different information. So that sounded good. I talked Maria into doing another wreath making program for us. So on December 4th, she's going to do that. We're limiting it to 10 people. So hopefully, and it'll, all of these will be mask mandated and, that stuff, but she'll do it. And if there's more people, if we get a huge, we get a lot of people wanting to do it, she said she might, maybe we'll do a second run. I don't know. I put Lego Club and a movie night and our PJ story time back onto the schedule. If anyone has problem with that, I can take them off. I figured since vaccines are now available to children, most kids, if they got them as soon as you can, they'll have had the second vaccine by now or by then. We'll still do masks. We'll still keep everyone as far away as they can. But if they've been in school, they've been doing all this stuff, maybe now's a good time to give it a try and see if we can get more kids back into the library. So I'll have, registrations a must, and I'll also have it limited as to how many people can be in. So if that's okay with everyone, give it a try, see if we can do it. Okay, awesome.
Where are the schools right now in terms of, I know before they were trying to have kids in their other
They're
activities
starting
and
to do
things?
programs.
Okay.
They have after school. Well, the middle school, high school, that's always the elementary school.
Yeah.
So we're in line with what they're.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Great, okay,
That sounds like a good plan.
awesome. All right, that'll makes me happy. Our book group will be meeting on December 21st. We're having a blood drive at the fire hall on the 30th. I'll need volunteers for that. If anyone's interested in helping to volunteer, that'd be great. And I'm gonna put together some take home Christmas, Hanukkah ornament decorating things and see if people want to bring them back like they did last year, and decorate our mitten tree with it. We're also gonna put the mitten tree up after Christmas, or excuse me, after Halloween. No, wrong holiday. Thanksgiving. Thank you. It's true. And yeah. So we'll start the mitten tree up as well and see what we can do for that. Last year we had so much that we didn't really know where to give them because there was nowhere to, everyone was getting so much. So we'll see how it goes, but I've already got some donations. So, okay, so maybe that'll be good then if we can give them.
And each organization in town should have a different
We can do that. Oh my God. Okay, so on another note, our Dungeons and Dragons has been going really well. We have 4 to 5 teams per week. Mahjong is also going well, 4 to 7 people a week. Our free pumpkin distribution, thanks to Larry Eckhart, we gave out 75 pumpkins on Sunday alone. And then all of the rest of them went, I don't know to who, because, but they went to 30 different families. And everybody who took them were extremely happy and just like, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. So it was definitely a good thing. We got back 46 carved pumpkins, and 42 people actually came down from the Halloween party to vote. And Tilly Gale, who is she 8 now? She's, oh my God, Okay, she's 10. You'll see on the back of her thing, her pumpkin was the winning pumpkin. She was very, very, very excited. So that was great. The Halloween party went really well as well. We had about 150 people. I took pictures of 75 people, so children, families, adults. So if you think if I took the picture, then you're going to have at least another person plus possibly more with each picture. So you can definitely say we had about 150. 11 cars were donated, did the trunks. We also had the fire department, which I didn't put in my report, but I should. So it was a good event. I think it was a really nice way to do it. And I think everybody had a good time from what it seemed. The only thing that was an issue was I don't think the costume contest went as smoothly as it could have because people left and they won. So I still have a bunch of chocolate bars in my office, which is kind of tempting. So I'd love it if people would come and get them back. But that I think it's still good. So and our book group, we also had someone new, which was another great thing because we're still looking to try and keep going with that. And
I was working during that discussion. I'm working in here on the and it was a really lively discussion. I have to say, I was impressed by how detailed the discussion was.
Oh yeah,
it was really
it's a good group, and it's a lot of it's interesting, and everyone's got really great opinions, and so I thought it was fantastic. So John Wall is still using the building for yoga classes, still giving the $50 a month to help pay for that, and he's still extremely grateful that we let him do this.
Can you remind me the days of that?
Tuesdays.
Just Tuesday?
Just Tuesdays. Yep. Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, which I seem to forget all the time and schedule meetings at that time, same time. So you can see the circulation statistics, which was the strange thing was that this month we loaned more items to other libraries than we owned or loaned to people in our library. It was like that during the pandemic. That's happened a lot, but I don't know what the change is. So, but keeps our circulation up, so I don't care. We do have some. Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, I try to make sure that we're doing bestsellers and the things that are going to have, sometimes I'll look when I order a book, how many people are waiting for it. If you have 150 people waiting for it, I'm going to buy it so that we can have it for us and then have it for us for a few months and then give it out to other people too. So we try and do it that way. We had a few more people register, and I'm thinking we might have actually had some people who I sent some letters to update their accounts because our numbers are up this month. So hey, that sounds good. Collection development, you can see that I attended the DA meeting. Our 2022 Ulan fees are going to be the same as this year. So that's staying steady. Ancestry.com library edition is going to be active until June of 2022, but then after that it's gone because it used to be that Central Library, they were the ones who paid for it, and now we're not going to pay for it anymore. So, and honestly, we don't have anybody, and no one with a Stephentown card uses Ancestry that we can see. So for us, I said it doesn't make sense for us to pay for it. So,
and it's only, I know we talked about seeing if they have had anybody that could do a program on it, so but if it's going to end.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Automatic renewals are another big thing that we talked about because the DA voted to authorize that. So what's going to happen now is that it's going to be an automatic renewal for your items that are out, and it will just go based on the loan, the loan values basically of what the book is or the item is that you're taking out. You'll still get a message that says, your item is about to be renewed in 2 days. Do you want to do this? Yes, you can. But really, it's just giving people a little bit more time with the items so that you don't have as many people with late fees and things like that. So it's definitely a good thing, I think, in terms of customer service and the community development. So no, it's just one time. And say you have a new book out and you want to renew it, if someone else is waiting for that book, it won't be renewed. So there's definitely parameters so that it doesn't just stay on your account for the rest of your life. So I have a story walk all set and ready to go for Halloween with a really nice book, but because the story walk is flooded, I had to not put it up. So I will hold on to it, and hopefully next year we can figure out a way to make a path back there that's dry, even if it means like a boardwalk or something. I've been thinking about it. So, but once the ground freezes, then I will actually put another one up, maybe like some wintertime ones, so kids can go and play in the snow and that kind of thing. So, okay, so the other big thing is that I know we voted last week or the last meeting about the cabinet over here that's covering the electric, and we talked about doing it so that the panel is just flush with a drywall situation. I spoke to Guy Bramley, and he actually spoke to Mike Colleen, our electrician, about what we should put in there. And he said that was not something he recommended doing. His recommendation was to basically just make a small closet. It's taped out down there out of drywall, and just have a small door so that if he needs to get to the wires above or below the panel, it's all accessible and it's right there and ready to go. Because otherwise, if there's an issue again with the wiring or any of the feeds that are in there, he's still gonna have to take all that stuff down. So I wanted to bring that to you. Kirk Mitchell said that sounded like something he could definitely do. He has not yet stopped by to give me an estimate, but he did say it'll be cheaper than what he gave us the estimate for, which was about $800 to do something similar to this, but just bringing it out more so that it's more accessible. So it'll be less than I think it was like $893, something like that. So I needed to bring that to you because it's a complete change in what the plan was. So that
at this point we had approved 500. So
depending on what it is, then
forward,
right. So if that sounds like a good idea to everybody, well, we can go there. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or during the building reports. Also, Kirk said that it was too late to do any of the deck work because it's been cold, but we're in the queue for next year. I know, right? He's going to be doing a fall cleanup of the grounds as well. That's coming up. He said we're in the list. We're in there to go. So, and I have to say, Guy Gramley he really wanted to do the work on this, and he felt terrible. So he took time out of his day to come in and talk to me and tell me what Mike had said. So, you know, I was pretty happy with that, but because of the electricity issue, that was why he's not going to be able to do it for us. But Kirk was definitely more than willing. So I worked with Heather Goebel with Hannaford Pharmacies to advertise for the vaccine clinic that happened on last Saturday. It was really more just like let's just get the word out for this. And, you know, so Jen did some posts on Facebook and we did some signs, and we were going to work with the kids, but not enough kids signed up. So actually a lot of kids signed up, but then they ended up canceling their appointments because they got their shots at the pediatrician or at another, you know, somewhere closer. So our 2020 taxes have been filed and they're set and ready to go. If anyone's interested in seeing them, let me know and I'll print out a copy or send you a copy of them. They were in before the deadline, which was November 15th. So that's all good. I met with the Berlin Food Pantry and other organizations in the area for the toy drives this year, and they had contacted us and the food pantry because they wanted to see about coordinating in some way who's getting toys and who's not getting toys. Really what it was more about was making sure that families are not double dipping and going to lots of different organizations. So we will talk with the school and see if they have anybody that they know we should definitely contact and reach out to. Otherwise, we could just continue to do it the same way we normally do it. So the fire department's getting toys with Dollar General. We'll still get toys from Rensselaer County. We'll do a big thing on, what day was it, the 12th?
December 12th, Sunday will be the
distribution day. And we're going to have here at the building, if people can't come on the 12th, they can come here and pick up their toys as well. That I think is a great spot for us to have everybody. So the toy drive is up and running.
Those flyers have allowed to food pantry families with the Thanksgiving baskets this Saturday.
Oh,
So we can
great.
Put those out, then we'll put it out
Should
online
we,
as well, and if you want to send the flyer to the school.
we can do that. I don't know that I would get it to every single family in the school or if just to Stephentown families. I'll ask, I'll call and ask if we can just do Stephentown kids.
I know last year we ended up having presents left over. There was quite a bit from the toy drive. And so I think we ended up contacting Berlin Fire Department to see if they could
Oh, okay.
distribute in there
Mhm.
with their families. Kind of last minute, just at the last minute when we saw we had extras.
We usually get like 5 bags filled with toys from Rensselaer County. So we'll see if they can.
have Facebook posts, I can put it on the youth group.
Okay.
Because that is, I think, mostly, yeah. So that-
I mean, if people from other towns do it and they need it, oh well. Like my thought is just give it away. And if you have people who are going to 4 or 5 organizations, well, then you have a bigger problem than just giving out toys. So I think it's totally fine that we can just try and get as many Stephentown kids, if anyone from Grafton or Berlin or wherever does it as well, the more the merrier.
Yeah, this year we're doing an online registration form to try and make it a little bit simpler because last year I was just like phone calls with everybody. And so we are asking for their address. So we can always say, you know,
Mhm.
you're not from Stephentown, you know, sort of Stephentown families first in this toy drive. If we have enough,
Right.
then we'll include you.
That's a good, yeah.
Something like
Did
that.
you reach out to me, Lebanon, and you went to school?
Averill Park, I think, is going to be, there's not enough kids. It's going to be way too hard to figure out. But New Lebanon, I mean, they have Stephentown kids.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to New Lebanon as well. Okay.
I know we had some kids from Camp Forest in Lebanon.
Oh, right. You know what else we need to do is the homeschoolers as well. There's a lot of them this year. If anyone's interested, I have started a new Caldecott collection at the library, which is meaning that we have every Caldecott winner from the very beginning. Caldecott is an award that is given to the best illustrated children's book. And it started back in 1938. And so we are doing that. And then I'm also going to do the Newbery Award winners as well for the youth, the JFIC stuff. So I just thought it's a great history to see, and it's a great thing to be able to look back on. And so we now have them. They're all, well, I have still more coming in, but they're in the kids section if anyone's interested in seeing any of them. The amazing thing is that I've been able to get most of them, which, you know, 1938, some of them are still in publication, some of them are not. Some of them I have to get from these bookstores, but
Wow.
it's pretty amazing when you look at it. So if anyone's interested, they're there, and we might actually do a Caldecott story time or something that would be, you know, something fun. If story times and kids are starting to come back, we'll do that.
It's a nice idea.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's a good idea.
How things have changed in terms of diversity, subject matter. I mean, just be fascinating.
Mhm, yeah.
That is a great
I'd like to
idea.
get involved in that. Also, I love those books.
I know, me too.
That sounds like a volunteer right there.
I know, actually.
I'm
If you, that sounds fantastic. I would love to see. I think that's great. It is. I mean, you look at some of the subject matter of the very beginning, and it's just like, you know, would this be acceptable now? Would this not be acceptable? All the different things that you can see out of them. But so yeah, that would be great. And well, sorry. None of them have been seen, as far as the research I've seen, nothing has ever been said to, like, you know, you shouldn't have this in your catalog anymore, but librarians don't usually do that anyway. With Dr. Seuss and how they had, you know, everyone was like, okay, that's going to take out of production. Every one of us were like, oh no, it's staying in the collection, because you still need to be able to see these things and learn from the past and be able to understand it. But no, there's nothing, I don't I don't see
I'm
it.
just thinking like sometimes unusual things disappear.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
No, these-
I've heard that thing.
No, oh, no, they won't
Yeah.
disappear. No, they won't disappear, I'm sure. They'll be fine. I'm still working on mailings for our expired patron list. That sounded really bad. Patrons with expired cards.
Responsive.
Well, that's what I wanted to say.
do.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is that's why it's taking so long, is that I'm actually going through and finding the people that I know have passed, so I'm not sending it to them too. Oh, yeah, that's good. The other thing is that I've been in contact with the Stephentown Art Guild, and we are going to try and have either art shows or artisan shows where we do different things. We're going to move the books from this shelf over to here, and we'll have and we're going to have a meeting after Thanksgiving about it and try to get artists to come and show their work, which I think is great because it's been very popular down at Four Fat Fowl. And the biggest problem with the Four Fat Fowl is that it's only open from 6 to 7 on Saturday nights. So we need a permanent space or someplace that's open more. And I think that the library would be a great spot. So we're going to try and do that. And the big news too is that the logo is finished, which is nice as well. So thank you so much to Logan for helping us out with that.
Thank you to both of you, because
Oh.
not only getting it to the general final one, but then there's so much work at the end to get.
Well, we still have to-
finalized and tweaked, and
We still have to do the black and white, but we'll.
So far, it hasn't gone out to the wide public yet, but people have seen it. The reactions have been positive so far, which is nice. So.
I agree. So that's it for me. A little late, but
Okay. Let's see. So we kind of touched on the COVID pandemic phase update because essentially agreeing to have some kids programs again with limited. So for now, the policy will be limited number of attendees, registrations must, masks required, social distancing attempted at least. And do you, you mentioned 10 for the wreath making, is 10 going to be the general number?
I think that's what we said at the last meeting.
Okay, yeah.
For any kind of
And
active.
for kids as well.
Yeah, for anything that's super active, we would do it that way. But in terms of, I think we said 25 for presentations.
16 to 20 persons max.
So. And that would be for this space. So for, yes, for seated presentation, right? Yeah. So I think that's where we can stay there. And I'm assuming since we're still doing masking for schools, that we should stay masking for people who are, for everybody coming into the building. I know we've had a couple of people, I think Vicky, one person came in and gave Vicky a hard time about needing to wear a mask and left the building. But that's the only, we haven't had anything else other than that. Most people get a little irritated, but well, not most people, some people get a little irritated, but for the most part, everyone's been really good still about it. So. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I was here when the other person, she said the woman wasn't rude or upset or anything like that, just sort of said like we don't wear masks.
Yeah, and then
and Vicky, and so they agreed that the woman could if she needs to request anything online, we can still do pickup, all that kind of stuff. We can still get her what she needs. But,
right.
Right now the masks are required.
And she did offer to say, well, the president of the board is here, so if you want to talk to her about it, but she was okay not to. So, so you got an out on that one.
She didn't tell me, she threw me under the bus.
she totally threw you under the bus. I think Sarah was here too, so she's like, there's 2 board members actually. So, okay.
Great. So treasurer's report.
So things are still looking good. We're on track with our spending. It seems like with only having a little over a month to go, that we'll not spend everything that we have budgeted for. We have 16,700 and change left in our budget that we haven't spent, and we don't spend that much a month, so.
No, I don't. Well, we're not going to spend that much, but we do pay insurance will be paid this month. Yeah, insurance fees, and there's a couple of other yearly fees. I just don't remember which ones they are. The thing I also needed to let you know is that the stewards donation that we normally get, I didn't realize that what they use. Normally, I just put in the request whenever and they give it to us whenever. But this year they came back to us saying that our request is better for the holiday match program. So we'll be getting, as soon as Thanksgiving is over, that's when they start the application process, but we won't get that money until next year. So that line is going to be empty for this year, unfortunately, but that's.
What's the holiday match?
I think that what they do is they raise money. Stewards itself raises money, and then I honestly don't know. I don't know if they, like Stewards, the organization will match whatever funds are come in, something like that, but I'm not sure. I just know that it's a holiday giving program, and they asked if we could donate or request our donation for that. So we usually get well, we had been getting $1,000, but last year it was $750. So we'll see if we can get more. I don't know. But yeah,
So for budget purposes,
it'll
be in, there'll just be one though in 2022. Because
Yeah.
we'll sort of, it sounds like they want something that's different schedule.
yeah, exactly.
Is there, what are the parameters now? Or is it just a?
Nope, just
thing for them?
yeah, pretty much. It's just like, what are you going to use it for? We're going to use it for children's programming, and that's it. So it's a super easy.
So not specific.
No, I mean, if we use it for children's programming, we should, have that as a specific line, but
But I mean, they don't care about their programs or.
no,
Very generous and very easy.
yeah, they're pretty great. Sorry.
No, that was good. So we're still on track with our spending. We started the budget process. We're not totally feeling ready to go through everything, but Jen published where we're at with the budget in the committee reports. So if you guys have looked through it and have any questions, you can let us know. But we'll be meeting again to go through that and present a budget for vote in December.
Anything
And-
else?
We were also talking about raises for the staff this year. At what point do you want to do that?
Why don't we do that at the end? We're going to executive committee at the
Okay.
end to talk about that. That way we don't have to hold people up.
Okay.
All right, so committee reports, so fundraising, so annual appeal, sitting right here. All we need left is stamps to put on, so should be having everybody do that right now, but we're in good shape, so and follow the plan as we laid out before, so that includes the previous donors and current card holders. Special messages for large donors and a little message for new card
holders.
Thank you. And I think I'm hoping that we can, with the data cleanup we did, unfortunately, what Upper Hudson provides is kind of in crazy shape data wise. So
Yeah.
you had to do like a lot to get it in shape to actually use it. So I'm hoping, I want to talk to you, Kim, at some point
Okay.
about just how we can maintain the list so that as we get updates from things coming back and all that, we can keep it in good shape.
Sounds good.
So that's happening. Any questions on fundraising or comments? Strategic planning.
Well, I don't have much to add to what we talked about last time. I haven't heard anything about Paul May.
I haven't heard from him. I sent him an email, and he said he was going to get back to us with a timeline and with the finalized master plan for signature. But I have not heard back from him. I need to reach out to him. I just haven't had a minute to do that. So make sure.
We've got to reach out to at least some of these players. Kind of master plan. For the next.
I think we had one final question into him about a timeline.
Yeah.
Ed, were you able to incorporate the changes from the draft of the strategic plan for 2022?
I was probably able to, but I didn't do it.
I should have been more specific.
Right, okay. Well, it's just taking my key
Because I think we'll need to formally adopt that next month.
Oh, the master plan.
No, the strategic plan. Like
Oh, the strategic plan.
2022, just
Okay.
updates.
The other thing is, Diana is in the cemetery to some extent, from the veterans. And so we were about to do, I hope to get a better idea what we do. I don't know if you want to say anything about the veterans and how we might be able to help you or work with you get together.
Okay, well, we're basically, our group is different from American Legion or VFW. We're just a voluntary group and it has to do with our park. And we just need a way to have the community know a little bit more about us and what we do, and why we're here and that kind of stuff. And I think people just don't understand what that's all about. The park represents veterans. It's not about wars. It's not about politics. It's about people who serve. And we just want to kind of get that message out there. And we have combined with some other groups in the past. We've worked with the Historical Society. And this year we're doing the tree lighting in conjunction with other people and, you know, the fire department and so forth. So if there's any way that we could work with you, because you're this, as I see it, the center of the community and you deal with such a wide variety of people and children. If there's anything we could come up with and work jointly with, that would be great. But we're limited as far as space. All we have is the park. And obviously we're coming into the time of year where that's not going to be available. So it will probably end for this year for us with Christmas. But any way that you feel that we can combine and do something jointly would be great.
That'd be fabulous. So we talked about you doing a presentation on women in the military. So that'll be definitely a good thing. The other thing too is that we do have, you know, our little kiosk with different information, so we can let people know about that. But you know, if there's ways that we can work together to do other, I don't even know what kinds of services that might be needed, but if you guys need the building, we can absolutely have space for meetings, or if you find out that there's a program that can be happening to help vets get whatever services they might need, we can definitely have it here. Like that is absolutely a place that this is a, you know, it's a space for everybody. And
It's to reach out to the younger veterans too, because I know they're out there and our group is much older. And I know there are younger people there because I've been running into them doing the vaccines over at Cincinnati Community College. And I just run into all these people and they're kind of isolated and off by themselves. And I know that, again, you're a hub here and you reach out to a lot of people, and maybe through your organization, we can help find some of these other people that may need some help, or just draw them into our group and work together.
that'd be fantastic.
Some kind of recruiting function here. Something that we invite people, say, "Gee, we're going to have a meeting or a party or some kind of event. And we have a facility."
That would be good.
Yeah, and if you have any ideas too of programs or topics, things like that, that would be of interest, that would both for the vets that you're already part of the organization, but that might be something that would attract somebody younger or something like that, you know, that's helpful to know, because it's hard to figure out what people in general are interested in attending, and it's specifically when you're trying to target a group, you don't see what it might appeal. appeal. So that would be really helpful to have any ideas like that we could help, find the right program or target something in that area.
Is there anybody in the group who's a specific, a particularly good speaker? Ideally, somebody young.
I'm one of the younger members, Phyllis. is younger. And I had, looked at if there were other people around who were presently active duty, but if they're active duty, obviously they're off somewhere else and they're not in the area. And the other problem you run into with veterans is they're very hesitant to share their experiences because some of them are traumatic. Even when I gave this short speech last week, I've had people come up to me and share things with me that I was kind of very surprised, pleasantly surprised, but they felt hearing some of what I did that they could come now and talk to me, which was amazing.
I wonder if- sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just thinking of how to reach, younger adults, and if you had a program and advertise it to the school, you might reach parents, who maybe that's themselves.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I was in Cub Scouts, and the veterans invite us over every year for barbecue or some other kind of similar event. And there might be something, I know this very active Girl Scouts group here.
Well, I know they had Boy Scouts before, but I'm looking ahead at like something like Memorial Day, doing something at the park, because we don't see a lot of children either. And, I know they come in here and they can see what's here, but for instance, our wall has everything from, the Spanish-American War up until now, everyone in the Stephentown area who has served. And it might be interesting for some of the kids to come in and see if they recognize some of these names from people, names that they've heard or relatives of theirs. I was trying to find a way to, thinking of some ideas with that. If at all possible.
We could do some kind of a program together where we, a Memorial Day program for children specifically, like gear it towards kids, not just, the normal thing that we do, but, maybe if they have a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle, we could provide paper for rubbings and, that kind of thing that you would work. So we can work together on doing that. Definitely.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thinking about summer camp too, where especially this year we were trying to do local field trips and you walk to the park,
yeah.
do a field trip to the park with maybe a little program, some
Just explaining
speaking
what
about
the park
it.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Christmas tree has such a significance for us, as John was explaining, that tree is so different because it represents people that are serving now that can't be home for Christmas, people in the past, and there are other stories that can be related to that, to the tree, and people just don't even think about it when they see it. So everything in that park is very significant.
Yeah, I'm getting ideas. So let's definitely talk about it.
I look forward to
We really appreciate you coming and working with us. It's good to have a contact now that we can reach out to.
Just so everybody knows, I don't know if you guys remember, but Greg Sider is the guy who did the program for us online, that Zoom program. He just reached out to me and said he would love to do another program on Battle of Midway. So we'll do something here at the library, but we'll also have it via Zoom so that people can sign in. So if you want to let your guys know that we'll be doing something like this soon, I just have to get it all set up. It'll probably be in January. That's what we'll do. So.
Know about the last program? The guy did a hell of a good job. It's really,
No, I personally, I didn't.
it's really well worth watching.
We have a YouTube channel, and the 2 presentations are up on that, so you can watch the recordings of the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's something that you could probably let some of the vets know if they're interested in it. It was the Battle of Britain, but it was a 2-part program, but it's up on the YouTube channel, and just search for Stephentown Library and you'll find us.
So for next time, we'll finalize the 2022 lesson plan.
Okay.
And then, so major projects, we already touched on the fact that we are waiting to hear back from Paul Mays on signing an agreement on the master plan. He was going to provide us an idea of a timeline, which I imagine, given that another month has passed, might shift anyway. I know he, off the cuff, when he was talking to us, indicated, well, probably by spring it could be done, and I have some serious doubts about that. Yeah, so I think we may want to think about adjusting our expectations for that unless we decide to make that such a priority, because we want to get it done in that time, that we're going to shift, put the majority of our focus and prioritize Kim's time for what's needed on that to get to that point, because I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot that would go into that given how things move.
Yeah, what I would probably suggest is that if we're going to run into some timing issues in terms of this being delivered later, to the extent that you're able to do it, because some of the stuff is not time sensitive, but if we're interested in applying for grant money, which means that we really need to be done with whatever we want to propose by September 1 of next year, then what Paul should keep in mind is that we want to do that. So to the extent there's a small project that can be identified, he can stage it so that he can focus on that and maybe put some of the other things on the back burner. It just, just work with us so that at least we can get some value up front.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I'll talk to him about that.
Okay, buildings and grounds.
Well, we listed our priorities for high priority projects last meeting. We authorized spending of money, and now it's just a question of getting contractors in who are willing to do the work, and we'll hold off on the decks. So and I'll run down, I'll see if I said actually look for trees. Because they said they would show up within the next 3 weeks or so, which didn't necessarily mean they tell us anything about it.
Oh, true. Okay.
So I'll call the folks I've spoken to before and see if they actually
We're talking about all these projects that we're doing. Are there any veterans who have the right kinds of skills we can be able to use? Because most of our projects are relatively small. It'd be good to use our local talent. Always looking for new contractors.
Well, the problem is, again, is age with the group that we have now. So probably not at the moment, other than, Mr. Zima is part of our group, and his family has been very helpful to us. But thank you.
I mean, not everybody works in this place. There's spring chicken, that's for sure.
Okay.
I just have one question about building and ground. Are there things that need to be done before it snows? Like the picnic tables and stuff?
Picnic tables need to be put away. The furniture on the lawn, on the deck, needs to be put into the shed. The cleanup stuff needs to happen, but that's going to be done by Kirk. Really, when I talked to Andrew from Andrew's property maintenance, he's like, you might want to just wait until the springtime to do all that stuff. Yeah, and then we do have like that pop-up tent that's broken that needs to go to garbage. Oh, okay, thanks. So I think that's pretty much it.
Are the tables ready to go away, and do you want them before Kirk is coming to clean up, or?
Yeah, I mean, we can put them away whenever they're, they just need to be folded and put into the shed. That's the only thing that needs to be done. So we might end up needing the table here on the deck is broken. So we might end up wanting to just toss that and get a new set, because when you pick it up, the top comes off the legs, and it's not supposed to do that. So, because that means then the glass is going to go crashing down.
It looks like it's kind of rusted off.
It is. It's old. I mean, it's been here since I started, which was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much all that I
If
know
we
of.
get somebody who can transport it, the transfer station has said the library can run stuff there for free. So.
Yep.
I can ask. Yeah, I mean, I think he's supposed to make a dump run off our trailer Saturday.
Oh, okay.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So just let me know.
He knows about it or not.
It was supposed to happen the other weekend when we got the public store with my aunt and my parents.
Now it's time to work for home.
So I don't,
The cushions are, they haven't been cleaned since Nettie was here, so I don't know if they're any good or not anymore, but we can at least try and clean them. Nettie used to bring them to the scrub board and put them into the, trying to clean them off.
That's a good idea.
So we can definitely hold on to I would hold on to the chairs and the cushions for the time being, because the chairs we can definitely use for other programs, and like that's, have a little comfy spot without a table. So I would just leave all that stuff, but that can all get put into the shed as well.
And is there an order, like if we get a couple people to volunteer to help, is there an order that they go in to make it fit? Just
Nope. Just try and get it in. The tables fold, so they fold flat, so they just go up against the wall.
Yeah, there was one there last year after we got everything in.
Yeah,
it looks so big out there. It seems surprising.
no, everything fits.
Was it time to get enough people together to carry all this stuff around Saturday morning or something?
If anyone can volunteer on Saturday morning, are you volunteering yet?
Yeah, I'll come Saturday morning.
Okay. Anybody, I'm at the Canty Saturday morning. Is anybody else around?
Crickets.
I could help you Sunday morning. I could help Sunday morning.
Close is early.
Huh?
Close is reasonably early, 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock.
Okay. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. okay for you.
I think so. I just have to make sure that nobody else in my family has plans that I don't know about. Happens sometimes.
Because I don't have any keys or anything, I can't do anything.
Ah. Okay. Anything else on buildings and grounds? Thanks, Rebecca, for bringing that topic up. Because I think there is a chance of snow on Monday, right?
Oh, yeah. I would look at me.
That's what I heard, but I haven't looked. I haven't
That's what
looked
we're
myself.
thinking about around here.
Okay, brand and marketing. I have the update from Sarah that she sent out. A couple highlights. So the big one being the logo. So that is, we have, as Kim mentioned, got the new logo rolling out. We've got that files we need. We've updated some of the stuff online. That'll roll out more as we have the website, new website. We'll get it up on Facebook ahead of mailing. So that was wonderful to have that rolling and done. Thank you again.
I will say this bluebird looks much better in blue.
We figured out what we're doing wrong. We usually do CMYK because that's print, and that's what Logan works in. He's doing things for print. So we needed to switch it over to RGB, and everything went beautifully after that. So it stayed the same.
So the other, just a couple highlights. So the conversation, we talked about that last time. Maybe not. So the full town conversation happened at the end of October. That went pretty well. We did have a few people who are interested in staying engaged, particularly talking about the possible newsletter and directory enhancements. So that meeting's been scheduled for December 4th, I think. Kim, thank you for already starting to incorporate some of the community events into our newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice to have done that. Let's just see. So, Noe, do you want to talk about just a quick update on the website?
Yes, so we decided to keep our current website running just because the new website has been some sort of chronicles of unfortunate events. Starting off with Upper Hudson taking some time to set up kind of like a separate website or a sandbox for us to develop the new website there, and then at the beginning of the year just have the whole brand new thing pop up into our current domain. They took some time. Then we had the consolidated communication issue for several days, so I was limited in the amount of work we did. And unfortunately, the theme that we chose has a lot of bugs in it. So when you change the color for something, it changes 100 different things on it. So I sent Kim, Sarah, and Jen an email with another suggestion for a website theme. And as soon as we all talk about it, we will be able to implement that and get it up and running.
And what was great was when I found one that not only probably should be more stable and usable, but also it's used by libraries.
Yes.
So it already has a lot, like some more features that we want sort of built right into it.
Yes.
Which is great.
Do we want to order that now so that we have it? And
I think we should probably
Let's
leave a
just make
chance
it-
for everybody to.
okay,
like,
all right. Let me
review it
let me
in
know,
the
and I'll,
committee.
as soon as it's ready to go. I'm on board though. I looked at it. It looks
Our issue was that the one that we were using before, I think we should have had a conversation before what we needed it to do before we chose it. And after we had that meeting this past Monday, we realized that it's too big for what we really needed it to be. So hopefully as we get everything situated, I'll be able to do that in a couple of weeks.
And what should be good is right now, we kind of struggle to keep the important stuff surfaced on the website and keep the current programs, and there's not really like a calendar view, and all of it is sort of, it's not streamlined, and
Yeah,
so this should help with a lot of that and help us keep that more up to date. On the plus side, the fact that we weren't up to date on the book club actually got us the new book club member. She was coming to talk about the previous month's book.
oh, was she
so-
really?
Yeah. So once in a while, it pays off. Pays.
Oh man. That's terrible.
Thank you for the note for working through that. Let's see, any other updates? So one of the things we talked about with the logo is the opportunity to look at having some things like a mug or a tote bag, things like that with the logo. Not hats, let's not go there. We don't need to talk about hats.
Where's Tom? Where's Tom?
Um,
I can hear his voice.
But we're not going to rush into that. Originally, we thought we might still be having a vendor market with the holiday market thing. So, we could get some stuff for that, but it felt like we were just rushing through things, and that wasn't going to be a good way to go. So, we'll work on that in the committee and have some ideas of perhaps some fundraising we can do with those. Okay, so recruitment.
There's no news.
Well, there's no good news. So the bad news is that recruitment needs to happen again because unfortunately Robin let me know she's going to be stepping down. So her business is booming right now. She is working a lot and she is traveling a lot, and she's felt bad that she hasn't been able to make meetings because her travel schedule has been such. So we will need to work on that.
I would suggest if we can hold out on contacting people till after the new year.
Yeah.
It's not, holiday time is not a good time to ask people to be more there.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Frazzled and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I would suggest.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So we'll pick that up in January.
And perhaps a related recruitment / youth committee update, Rebecca.
Yeah, well, first let me talk about the Halloween party.
Okay.
It went, as Kim said, it went great. Another thing that we did new this year that really brought in the community was we asked for donations for our prizes. And Fort Powell donated coffee. Coffee.
That was just, I just had that.
Okay. Norte gave us a $50 gift certificate as a prize.
That was it for the prizes,
That
but
was it.
Dave's.
But and Dave's donated the cider and the apples. So just going forward, we did get a good response, and if we had worked harder, we probably could have done more, I think.
Yeah.
It was a good, something new that we did.
Do you acknowledge those on like the website or something?
Yeah.
I don't know if I put it on the website, but I can.
I know you.
Facebook,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
Facebook had
had
it.
them.
Oh, and I put it out on the, in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, newsletter.
So, as far as youth committee goes,
Oh, before you say your thing, one thing, just as a quick update. I mentioned it to Kim just over the, the contract with the town.
Oh, yes.
2022.
yes,
Sent over. Larry wanted one change, which was just to the wording around that we manage the tracking the hours and sending any paperwork related to payroll. But the hours, it said weekly, and he wanted that to be bi-weekly. So we just updated that and included that any paperwork related to payroll.
right.
So that we signed it, he signed it. It's final.
And along with that, Kim said that they passed our budget for next year, which was pretty much the same as this year. Jessica had requested, usually we have 5 senior counselors and 3 junior counselors. She requested an extra senior counselor so that each group in camp has 2 senior counselors. She feels it would help her cover when kids are out for the week, or counselors are out for the week, and the town, I don't think, flinched at that, so that's good. As for youth committee, I am proposing that I step down from youth committee. And I am doing this at this time
For our own good.
for your own good. Because right now in youth committee is not ongoing. Right now, there's nothing to do in youth committee until March. We have 4 months before really anything needs to be done. In March, we need to start planning for the Easter party and planning for camp. This is my 8th year on the board. I will stay on for 1 more year. Right, Melanie works out.
That was a group effort.
Good job. Good job.
I'd get you.
My point is, a year from this April, I will be dead on the board. And I don't want to just leave the board and leave the youth committee hanging. I'd like someone to take it over so that I can work with them for a year. I would still definitely be an active part of the youth committee. But that makes it so I'm not just leaving the board and leaving the youth committee just like out there in the dark. If anybody has any questions about what it entails to do youth committee, you can ask me privately or you can ask me here, I guess. I think it has to be a board member. Kim already does a lot and helps with the youth committee, but these responsibilities can't fall back on Kim. It has to be.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really, really important.
So get that out of your mind. Shit, these jobs. Yeah.
So the other thing is the youth committee is probably one of our most public facing committees, and it's also a committee that actually has contract and money involved and all that. So it's super important that we take this seriously. Rebecca's knocking some sense into us and making sure that we take this seriously right now. So thinking about who can do that, if any of our current board members, if not, that's, you know, as we recruit a new board member, having that as something we're thinking about.
In the way, I mean, when I took it on from Sue Brissette, and she was the one who first did it when the town handed us this contract. Originally, youth committee was run by the town, and the library didn't have anything to do with camp or any of that. She said, look at it as you're doing your fundraising for the library, because we get an administrative fee from this. And we also get to piggyback on a lot of youth committee programs and services that the town might pay half and we might pay half, or they might pay for it. And, you know, we benefit a lot from having this as part of the library and partnering with the town.
Yeah, and the library gets most of the credit since it's held on the property, and that's what people see when they come. So it's a good community building effort for us too.
So whoever takes on youth committee, I am more than happy to be very active with it. You know, I'm not just throwing it at somebody and saying, here, it's yours, I'm done with it.
What is the ideal profile of somebody? It would seem like it's somebody who's relatively young and has kids in school and is conscious of what actually is happening in the area.
Are you voting
You're
yourself
very-
out?
I'm really happy working now until March.
No, I know the old guy, you know, like, which raises an interesting in terms of partnering with veterans, because of incorporating some of the veterans and maybe programs with having maybe a veteran come in and talk to the kids.
Yeah, I mean, the youth committee basically does, the big thing is camp, Halloween party, Easter party. We also, which we haven't been able to utilize in a year because of the pandemic, but we have a budget for team programming.
And you were doing that once a month.
We were doing it, yeah.
And they were
We had
actually
a
really,
following,
we
yeah.
did, we
Yeah,
had a
they were
good group.
popular.
And as far as doing camp and stuff, like, it seems like a big undertaking, but a lot of it is just planning. Jessica is great. She used to run it when the town did it. And so is Taylor. I am very involved in a lot of the planning. And then once camp steps off, they're the ones who fill out the paperwork. They're the ones who do the payroll. I don't do any of that. My job is basically to keep on top of them, make sure they're staying within the budget, make sure they're, you know, if they're ordering supplies, that it's, you know, within our budget and that sort of thing. And make sure if they have any questions or it's running smoothly. But it's not like it's, you know, they're paid to be the director and the assistant director. It's not like you're here every day doing all the paperwork.
More over planning and oversight.
Right.
Of that. Yeah. But more active on the events, planning the Halloween and Easter, you're kind of leading the charge.
Yes, I mean, I would say pre-COVID, a lot of that, this last year and a half has been very hectic doing that sort of stuff because we've had to rearrange and be creative and figure out what we can and can't do. Before that, a lot of it was pretty much the same every year.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good system going, and other parents help out.
Yes.
It's not like you doing it by yourself.
Right.
Are there any parents on that list who want to be in charge?
I don't know.
I
We can
can't
think about
think
that.
of any. Honestly, most people who are interested that I know of are on the board and work for the library. I thought about Jessica, but she gets paid as the director, so why would she?
Yeah.
She couldn't be the director and.
Maybe it's still in your budget.
She'll work for a year and don't get paid.
Maybe a promotion to the PTA president. You did such a good job.
She actually works
She-
at the library.
yes.
Elaine is the PTA.
And we're not, we cannot lose.
She didn't work at the library.
We can't lose her.
Vicky expressed interest. Vicky expressed interest in being on these committees, not running it. I didn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't brought up in the
And I think
context of
she
you
used to run it.
She did used to at least participate in it. So we might be able to at least incorporate her in the committee for. doing
Yeah,
this.
no, I mean, as far as community members helping, the way I've always done it is I've recruited parents because, you know, they might not want to be part of the board, but they might want to help with the Halloween party or the Easter party to be on the youth committee for that sort of thing. But I've excluded them when planning for camp just because we're talking about director's salary, payroll, which teams we should hire, which teams we might not hire, and I just don't want the little gossip bugs to go back into the community. Yeah, so I mean, but yeah, so think about it and let me know.
Alrighty. So administrative committee, there's no updates there. We are nothing active going on there. Old business. So the holiday bake sale we touched on at the beginning. So it's going to be just a bake sale, and we need to discuss if there's going to be a component of some sort of Santa letters. Oh, that's the context that I was talking to Vicky. She was mentioning that that Macy's program where kids drop if you how did it go? So I don't really understand this, but if a kid drops off a letter to Santa, they get collected, sent to Macy's. I don't know if they get sent to Macy's. I did not. You have to know how many, and then Macy's donates based on the number that are collected.
So
She was-
back to us?
No, I think donates to something else.
Make
She
a
was going to
wish.
send me the information. There's the kid in Hoosick.
Yeah, he
Who
does
does
it
it?
every year and they try to get the school kids involved and he gets like, I don't know, tons of letters.
They donate $1 to make a wish up to $1 million.
So yeah, that's why she was mentioning that program. But Rebecca, you had proposed for the pickup day having something incorporating, something with kids, Santa on the deck.
Yeah, if we wanted to do Santa from a distance.
Yeah. Santa from a distance. You just look at that. So why don't let's take
From the makers of Elf on the Shelf, Santa from a distance.
That's pretty good. Why? Because there's so much Santa anyway. I don't know what so I think we need to finalize our plans for that right now, and then we need to reach out to bakers and move forward with that, and then start promoting whatever.
Yeah, I'll need to get stuff up on the website for the bake sale, which is not
I'm
hard.
not sure, John, because we're doing Santa down here, if it would be doubling up on Santa.
Yeah, I mean, I think they say Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to be at the park, but and I don't know if it's going to be exactly what, pictures or just that they're there waving. But I think we need to look at it more from what do we think we can accomplish at this point.
Is it hard to get a Santa?
I can probably ask Jared Brazy again. I think it was Jared. Pretty sure it was him.
It
It
was,
was okay.
because he contacted me last year saying he wasn't gonna do it.
Right. We did. That was Maria's ex-husband. Yeah, Maria's ex-husband did it the year before. He did it for a pie.
For a pie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maria made him a pie, so he said. He didn't exactly have the physique of Santa.
No.
So, but Jared loves to do it. He does it all the time. I guess he might even be doing it down at the. I'm not
He
sure. Who's,
might, he's on fire.
yeah, so I don't know who's doing. So The bake sale is on the 12th or the 11th. Was it the Saturday or the Sunday?
It was 11, yeah.
Oh, the 11th. Okay. We could do something on Saturday the 4th for kids. Come in and write your letter to Santa and then bring it with you to come to the bake sale the next week, or, you know, hang it, we can hold on to it, or we could do a letter writing thing at the library on that Saturday, write your letter to Santa and then put it in the box and we'll deliver it to them.
Well, what about even just, you can print out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
With the three letter lines on it.
Mhm.
You can pick it up at the library
And bring
or
it.
write it here. Exactly that. I mean, if it's easy to get Santa here, then put some glitter on a shoebox to put your letter in, it might draw people in
Mhm.
to the bake sale.
Right. Do you want to ask him then if he'd want to do it?
I can ask them that.
I mean, I can call him too. I've got his information, so.
What timing are we looking at? I don't know what's in here.
Let's see. If it's on Saturday, I would say sometime like at around 11. That way kids can come, get some bake sale stuff, go home, have lunch, and then do naps. Which is,
So like
So like 11 to 12.
yeah, 11 to 12.
What time is the bake sale on?
I think we were gonna do it just the open hours, right?
Yeah.
So that people could pick up when we're open.
That's what I thought you were gonna do too.
And he has the suit. Or
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Oh, yes, apparently it's something, it's one of those things that he has been doing for years and years and loves
I
to
think
do.
his dad did it too.
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah, it was like a tradition that happened, so.
So we would just, we're not gonna have kids sit with them or anything, we would just have them waving from the front steps or just in case he asks.
Yeah, or what,
Come up and talk to him, just not sit on his lap.
yeah.
We could do it. What if we did like the photo thing was nice?
The photo booth.
Halloween, yeah, I mean,
We could do that. That would be fun, actually. Get your picture taken with Santa here at the light. They just stand next to each other. They don't have- Yeah, from a distance. But then we can put them back up on. What do you want your background to be?
that's why you're a good
I think pictures with Santa would probably be a great idea. Yeah, and I had fun doing that at the Halloween party, so I wouldn't mind doing that again for this. And then we can put them up on the website, and I can email them to parents. We can, get the pictures to them. Yeah, yeah,
I will message him.
great. Okay. If we can figure out the bake sale stuff, like who's going to be, what kinds of things we're, just the items that we're going to sell so that we can get it up on the website and get it advertised soon. That would be great.
I think you want me to do the website?
If you want to, I'm just thinking about getting the volunteers or people who is
I'll
actually,
send an email out to the folks on our.
that'd be great. Okay.
and see what they have in mind.
And then if anyone else wants to make stuff or bake stuff or.
Now, let's say I'll do the syrup. I think that we do some peanut butter. And there's something else I was thinking of. I'm away that weekend, so whatever you get for me is going to be something that's not big,
Okay.
or at least something that keeps.
So would you want one board member to be here to work the sale?
Yes,
Okay. One is enough.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
seems
I
like
think
the
once we,
pickups are usually
Yeah, the
pretty-
pickup runs really easily.
Yeah,
yeah.
so we'll send out a call for that, or if somebody wants to volunteer now.
I mean, basically what we've done, and it's been, one, it may be a little small because if you need to assemble stuff people are buying multiples of things, you need to assemble them in a bag. But we've been able to do that with like no more than 2 or 3 people in an hour.
Yeah, it's
I
quick.
mean, and that's leisurely. It's
Did
not.
you make much more at the Easter sale when you had like a few extras out on the table?
Yeah.
or- So.
Yeah, I mean, basically, depending on who's baking what, you generally, people bake a little more.
Right.
So yeah, that worked out well. Because if there's foot traffic,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if we're gonna have parents coming in with kids,
Yeah.
I think that that's a good idea.
but basically, if kids are involved, pushing cupcakes with icing, that works.
No snow.
Brownies work, snow cones work really well, but maybe winter snow cones.
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we already talked about the lighted parade, so any questions on that?
I'm hoping I will get back in time to see it, but I don't know that that's gonna happen, so.
We may have a few kids walking with us as well, so.
Yeah, I don't, Jan is going to Stephentown that day for the World Cup. I'm not sure if he'll be back. So if he's not back, I'm in charge of all this. He was happy. He's a good showman.
Practice that. Right away. Maybe
All right, so we're up to call for public comment. Our public, any comments? I know. And then any new business not listed, we'll go into executive session for the other listed items. Any other new business? Okay. So we're going to executive session and the Zoom, what do we do about that?
We just have to turn it off.
Just turn it off and restart it to vote.
Yeah, I mean, unless you guys vote to end the meeting now and then have
Yeah, 'cause we still
executive
have to
session.
vote.
Okay, so I'll just pause it.
Okay. Okay, so motion to go into executive session. Ed, so moved.
No, we're gonna make, I move to amend the motion. Because what we need to do is expressly say what we're doing. So we're going into executive session to discuss salary raises and personnel matters involving the library.
Thank you, Scott. Second.
I still move.
Melanie seconded and continues to move. And all in favor? Okay, everybody approved. So we are now moving into executive session, pausing the recording.